And now begins the thriller. Savarkar was lodged in Brixton Prison, London, while his extradition papers were processed for deportment to Bombay. During the court proceedings, the Irish revolutionaries plotted to rescue him. The Irish revolutionaries noticed that Savarkar was being taken to court in a black cab and planned to intercept it with a getaway vehicle. Few days later, they moved in with a daring rescue plan. The getaway car was ready waiting. They stopped the police car en route to court, but when they opened the door, surprise, Savarkar wasn't there. Instead, 3 Scotland Yard agents stared back. British intelligence had already received a tip-off and have switched vehicles, foiling the daring plan in the heart of London. After the car incident, he was transported to India on a ship named SS Moria. Under strict watch, 2 British officers, 1 Indian officer and 2 Indian constables escorted him. They never left him out of sight. Even in the bathroom, the door had to remain slightly open. On July 7, the ship docked in Marseille, France. Since Indian revolutionaries were already active in France, Scotland Yard maintained strict surveillance. But on the morning of July 8 at 6:15 am, Savarkar asked to use the bathroom. A sleepy British officer escorted him, unaware of a small porthole in the lavatory. Savarkar slipped halfway through the hole before being noticed, but too late. As his guards raised an alarm, he leapt into the sea. He swam to the shore and ran towards a pre-decided spot, chased by his guards. But Brigadier Pescu of the French police, who was on the watch in the dock area that night, reached him first and arrested him. Savarkar pleaded for political asylum, but Pescu didn't understand a word of English. Assuming he was a petty criminal, Pescu handed Savarkar back to the British. Just 5 minutes later, VVS Iyer, KC Chattopadhyay and Madam Bikaji Kama arrived at the spot with a getaway car. But by that time, it was too late. SS Moria sailed away with Savarkar. Outraged, next day, Madam Kama raised the issue in the French press. The French ambassador to Britain demanded Savarkar be returned back to France. The matter escalated in the French Chamber of Deputies and it snowballed into a massive diplomatic clash between the French and the English. The case eventually reached the International Court of Justice in The Hague. Meanwhile, in Bombay, Savarkar's lawyers delayed the trial, arguing that the court must wait for the International Court of Justice decision before trial can begin in Indian court. Unfortunately, a few days later, the International Court ruled in favor of Britain. Savarkar was sentenced to 2 life terms, 50 years in the Andaman Cellular Jail.